What's up, YouTube? Another week, another video. Uh, this week it's about the firewall. So I put this in 3 years ago, but it was only spot welded in place, and it was only spot welded in the perimeter. And then I seam welded the two sections. This is actually a three-piece firewall. Didn't have the tools to make that whole length. Specifically, it was the bead roller. I couldn't fit the whole thing in a bead roller, so I made it out of 3 different panels. These two that you see here, the glare, it's kind of hard to pick it up, but it's welded down the center. And then there's a third piece that connects the trans-tunnel, the 2 floorboards, to the actual firewall. So I'm been seam welding the top down on the bottom so that, you know, I don't have to use seam sealer, and if you were to look at it, you wouldn't notice that it's not one piece, etc. So that's what I've been doing. I'm almost done with it. Just got a little touch up over here I got to finish, and then I'm done. And then I got to finish cutting holes for all the things that I need to, but that's at a later date. The other piece that I wanted to show you guys was this relocated wiper motor. This is really what started all the point of this video. Somebody had asked me where did my wiper motor go, or what the hole was over here. So this is the factory wiper motor. It used to be somewhere in here. I don't remember exactly, but it was somewhere in the center of the firewall. What I did, and this was all from 3 years ago, took a template, cut the hole, used nutserts to mount the actual motor to the firewall. I then cut the linkage, because obviously it's not going to fit, and then I used a 5/16 solid rod and beveled the edges. So what it'll do is these slots will go into that channel, because it's like a C channel or U channel, whatever you want to call it. What I'm going to do, as you see me mess with this, what I'm going to do here is on this end that you're looking at, I'm going to drill a hole and use like a cotter pin or a nut and bolt or something so that I can service this in the future. The other side will be welded directly to the section that connects to the actuator arm. I had used vice grips when I did the testing, and just hooked up to a 12-volt battery, found the power and turned it on, and amazingly enough, it didn't bind. It actually rotates fully forward, goes to high speed, low speed. I don't think this one has delay, but it all worked perfectly fine. So I was really happy with it, and it hides the motor up underneath the fender. For the heater box, I'm going with a vintage air system. I'm going to do heat and AC through the vintage air, and it's going to come in through the passenger cowl over here, so it won't be seen. And then of course the vintage air system is on the inside of the car. So that kind of wraps up what I've been doing with the firewall. I'm just, like I said, seam welding it, getting it nice and pretty, and then I'm gonna probably rattle can epoxy primer. And I would love to be able to paint just this before I put the motor and trans in, that way I don't have to take it out again. I don't know if that's going to work or not, because if I do a flat black or something, I could do that, but kind of want the body color of the car, and I have it chosen the right hue. It's going to be blue. I just don't know what hue it's going to be, so I don't want to chance all that. Plus, on top of it, I'm going to have to cut holes in the firewall still for the steering and the wiring harness. I think that's it. I think that's all the holes I'll need. Just kind of want to show you what the old firewall kind of looked like. So that was this section right there. This portion here, this portion here was spot welded to the cowl, but it was flexing whenever you stepped on the brake, and I actually pushed it out. So the water was just leaking in like crazy. This was all rotted out. It's one of the reasons why the floorboard was so bad, and the rocker panel, on the driver's side was so bad, is because this was just leaking like a sieve. So I didn't want to go through the whole work of cutting it out and putting in a new firewall, and then just have it look factory when I'm doing all this work. So that was the whole point of doing something custom like this. Well, hope you guys like it. This has been a lot of work. Started it, like I said, 3 years ago, but I'm just finishing most of it up now. Next videos will probably be clean up and work on the trans and the motor. I need to get those cleaned up and then mounted in the car. That's probably, yeah, I'm probably going to be cleaning that up the next couple of weeks, maybe before the end of the year. But yeah, I don't think the trans are going to go in just yet. I've still got to do, cams, oil pump, pickup tube modifications. I got to figure out what I'm doing with the heads and the intake. I'm going to keep the 317s in the truck intake, or if I'm going to swap those out, I don't know. So I got a lot of things I need to figure out. I got some parts I need to order for that. I still have to pull the subframe back out one more time so that I can hook up the Holly cross member for the trans. I know I can do it in the car. I think it's just going to be easier if I just take out the 4 bolts and roll it forward, put it all in that way. Plus, the benefit to that is when I actually go to hook the trans and motor up, I put them together and slap it all in at once and then bolt it to the car. That would be awesome. We'll see if that actually works out or not. Guy can dream, can't he? All right. Any questions, comments, drop below. I appreciate it. I'll catch you next time, guys. Thanks.